every day when it got dark, my sister would be out looking for me in the streets of India, and she would chase me down to come back home. I would leave the house with like clean clothes and slippers, and I would come back just dirty from head to toe, no slippers. I was that kid. My name is Mohamed Hersi. I am a painter and a clothing designer. The clothing that I design is titled Original Royal Refugee. It started out with painting. That's what I did for a living. My first painting, which I did in New York, it was in Brooklyn, and the painting said, "Peace, love, and war." My medium is emotions. That's my foundation. It's to illustrate the struggles of life that I experience or that I witness through art and clothing. Some might call that abstract, and I guess that's the category that I'm aligned with. But I don't necessarily believe in the idea of categorizing something specifically as abstract or non-abstract or etc., etc. As time went on, I had to make a living. I had to, I had to buy canvases and art supplies, and in order for me to do that, I had to generate some sort of income. On each painting, I would sign off on my painting by using the name Original Royal Refugee, or R on the bottom right-hand side. One day I put Original Royal Refugee on a t-shirt. I was wearing that around, and people started asking me, where did I get that shirt from? Fast forward 7 years, now it's in 2 different locations, 2 different stores, and all over the world. The store ZZ is the first flagship store and the first home for Original Royal Refugee. This piece was one of the fall pieces. It was inspired by some of the jackets that I was wearing at that time. I was making my own jackets where I would get jackets from thrift stores, and I would cut them up, and I would get different patterns and different materials and mix and match and stuff like that. So this one was more of a modern, sleek, chic look for unisex, and men and women can wear it. The name Original Royal Refugee came from taking a look back at my life. The original aspect of, me being original in the sense of just being true to who I am and, staying true to myself and everything that I believe in, which is, faith, family, and then my work. And then the royal aspect, I guess, it comes from my past that I didn't get to live. Before the civil war broke out back in Somalia, things were beautiful. The stories that I hear from my mom were amazing. Somalia was a tourist destination, and the refugee is my current status. Moving on from now up until life ends, I can't call one place home because I never lived in Somalia. I've never been there. In India, I was the only boy. I am the youngest of 9, so I drifted a lot. I would be in the streets of New Delhi. I would just go to different blocks, and I would sit next to the person that's frying sweets, and I would just sit next to him for hours. That has a lot of influence on my work still to date, even when I'm painting, because while I'm walking these streets, I would just be amazed at all these things that are happening around me. I wanna be able to share that experience with the person that's wearing the clothes or looking at any of my paintings. Every year on October 10th, I host my annual exhibit. Each painting is emotional driven. It's what I'm feeling at that time. events and moments throughout that year that are so significant that, you know, they stick with me up until October 10th, where it's like, you know, I try to pour that into the canvas as much as possible. That becomes my subject that I have to illustrate on that canvas and then showcase on 1010.